Good morning, everyone. My name is W.J. Miles. I'm going to be your instructor for today's webinar. Behind the scenes is the lovely queen of the Matrix Minute, Gail, is answering your questions online. Say hello, Gail.
Good morning.
If you have any questions during today's session, please type them in the question pane located at the top right-hand corner of the screen. If you can't see the question pane, you may want to click the orange arrow button to maximize it. We'll do our best to answer all your questions today, and at the end of the presentation, we'll have time for a question and answer. Today's webinar is on the wonders of RPR. So you ask, what is RPR? RPR stands for Realtor Property Resource. It's a property-centric database. What does that mean? That means that all properties in the United States are in this database. It does not have to go through an MLS to be in the database. So it comes from tax records and from other sources into the database. RPR is the National Association of Realtors online real estate database that provides realtors with data from greater than 160 million parcels in the United States. Okay, why isn't the screen changing?
It's got to be done from the presentation on top.
Hold on, guys, we got a technical problem here.
Not really. Play button.
There we go. There we go. Including tax assessments, public record information, notices of default, REO databases, foreclosures, pre-foreclosure information, MLS and CIE provided information, zoning, liens, permits, school districts, floodplains, demographics, and much more, all in one location for you to use. RPR reinforces the value of realtors being the center of the transaction and helps you to stay in front of your technology-empowered customers. So, what does RPR cost? As a member of the National Association of Realtors, RPR is provided to you with your member association dues. You do not have to pay any additional cost, period, for the tool. Where can you use RPR? In your office, in your car, in your client's home, in a coffee shop, the kids' soccer game, wherever you need to get it. As long as you have internet access, you can get to RPR. And what device can you use it on? You can use it on your computer, your laptop, your phone, or your tablet. What properties can you search? Any property in the United States. Could be residential or commercial. RPR puts the data you need all in one place. No need to go to MLS and then the tax records to get data. It brings it all in one place for you. You don't have to go to the school records, to the neighborhood information, demographics. It's all pulled into this one tool for you. RPR has done the work for you of building the reports. How many times have you pulled data from all these different sources and then you go to your report tool and try to force it in and make it look good? You don't have to do that any longer. The reports are already created for you. So I can hear you saying, where did I get this great tool? You go to narrpr.com. When you go to that site, you can create an account. You'll need your NRDS number. We refer to that lovingly as the NERDS number in our association. So you can get that at the National Association of Realtors, or you can also get it off of My MetroText. It's at the top of your personal information there. So you go there, you create your account, and you have access to this great tool. So I can hear you saying, how are we going to cover all of this data in one day or 1 hour webinar? We're not going to be able to cover all of it. We're just going to scratch the surface and whet your appetite for using this tool. You can get additional training for this tool if you go to mymetrotex.com and go into the e-services. You can schedule any of your classes with Metrotex there. The RPR class is a 3-hour CE class. All of our MLS training classes are free to Metrotex members. So we hope that you will go there and sign up for additional training on the RPR tool. So let's get started and have some fun. Now that we got all the technicalities out of the way, I'm going to switch over to RPR. Again, to get to RPR, you go to narrpr.com. That will bring you to the login screen. When you first come to the system to get signed up, you have to use this left-hand side of the screen to create your account. But once you have created it, then you're going to sign in with your email address. So you will type in your email address, and the password that you set for the system, and sign in. That's going to bring you to the home page of RPR. The first thing you want to do is go to your profile and make sure that the information in the profile is correct. Some of it will be filled in for you. A lot of it you're going to have to input yourself. Your photo, you would upload from your computer. Your broker logo or your logo, you would upload from there. Then you'll scroll on down and enter your personal information. The information that you input here, you want to be info that you want to share with the public. So if you put in a phone number or a website or a email address, you want to make sure that it's going to be the ones you're going to use for your business and that people can contact you on these. Also, when you signed up, you selected your MLS. You'll see that underneath MLS or CIE info. CIE was a new term for me. That stands for Commercial Information Exchange. Commercial Information Exchange. So it's similar to an MLS, but it's where commercial agents input their listings. So they do come into the RPR tool. As long as you see Netris down here and a green circle, green check mark in a circle over here, you are good to go with connecting to your MLS. Then down below you're going to see several other spaces to fill in. If you scroll back to the top, here's where your NERDS number is going to be and your name and your email address with them. If you ever want to change your password that you initially set, you can redo that in the top right hand corner also. And then you can put in security questions. And if you have your RPR connected to any tablets or phones, you'll see those connections here. We're going to see some screenshots today of how the system works with your phone on there also. So once you've gone over your profile page and gotten that all looking the way that you want, if we go back to the home page, we're going to see the main part of this page is searching. Right here in the center, you can search for an address or an MLS number. You can do it for all properties, meaning any property in the United States, could be on market, off market, any status. But if you just want to look for sale properties that are up in an MLS system, then you would click on the for sale. And then we're not going to have a lot of time to get into these other searches here today, but you can search by neighborhoods, you can search by schools, you can search by market activity, and if you have listings, you would see those listings right here. So the first thing we're going to do is just pick an average property. And this is totally by random. In fact, I had to change this property just before the webinar because something went wrong with another one I had chose. So not picking on anyone or being favored to anyone, but just typing in an address. So you type in the address and then the city and state and hit enter. If it locates that property, it's going to pull up the property detail page about that property. So that's one way to get there, is putting in the address. If it's an MLS and you have an MLS number, you can put that MLS number in, which I did not write this one down. I wrote down another one. So let me show you that it will go to another property here by putting in an MLS number, and it will take you directly to that property in RPR. Also, it remembers the properties that you have gone to on the home page, the recent properties down here. It keeps a list of your recent properties. So if you want to go back to one, you just click on that address in the recent properties panel on the home page, and it will take you back to that property report. So on this property report, there's tons of information here, and this system can be overwhelming when you first use it and you see all of the data that's here. Use it for the data you're going to need and you're going to use it for, and as you use the tool, you'll get more comfortable with it, and then you'll know sometime when someone asks you a question, oh, that piece is in RPR. So let's kind of cover the property detail page here. Across the top, we have tabs with different information about each of these. It has the address of the property. It shows it's currently for sale, and it's currently listed for $395,000. Then to the right of that is a new term you're going to hear, RVM. RVM stands for Realtor Valuation Model. You've probably heard of an AVM. AVM stands for Automated Valuation Model. That's websites like Trulia and Zillow, and those websites that try to give a customer or a property owner a value for their property. The AVM does a calculation based on public records. It does not have the sold data from MLS. RVM does use the sold data from MLS, so it should be much more correct. So you're going to hear this term RVM a lot with the RPR tool. Just to the right of RVM, you have a little eye. Anytime you see an eye in the system, that means there's pop-out information there. So if you roll over that little eye, blue eye, it will pop out and show you some information about that piece right there. Also, underneath the RVM is View Details. If you click on View Details, it's going to show you the properties that it used to come up with that RVM value. It's going to show you the properties on a map, and if you scroll down, it will show you the properties from your MLS that were used to calculate that RVM. If you go outside of your area to another part of the country or another part of the state that is not covered by the Netris system, you're probably not going to see these comps. A lot of other MLSs do not share their sold data with other associations. So if you come down here and you do not see any properties, that's because that MLS system is not sharing data with you. You have to be a member of that association. But since you're a part of Netris, you're going to see the comps that were used to do the calculation here. Okay? So if we come back to this main screen here, we'll see the list price over here. Then down below it, we have the basic facts of the home. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, single family, square footage, all of that. To the right is the RVM confidence level. If you see 5 stars there, it's saying, I'm really confident I'm close on this price. It may not be exactly right, but I'm in the ballpark there. If you ever see 1 or 2, that means they really didn't have enough properties to do comparables with. So it's not real confident in the price that it's giving you. And in some cases, you will not even see an RVM there. It just doesn't have the minimum amount of information that it needs to do the calculation. But a 5-star one there means I'm pretty confident in that number. So this one may be a little bit overpriced, or they're hoping the market is up since this RVM was done. Also down below that, it shows the changes. In the last month, this one has gone down. What that means is there's been a comparable that hit and it revised the RVM, and it went down slightly because that comparable brought the price down. And then it'll show you a 12-month, what's going on over a 12-month period there. If we scroll on down, we'll see the verbiage from MLS next to the pictures. And then when it's sitting here scrolling through the pictures. If we want to see the pictures larger, there's a little blue icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the picture. You click on that, it will open up and it will show you a slideshow of the pictures. Notice you can turn the slideshow off in the top corner, or if you want to see thumbnails, you can click on the thumbnails in the top right-hand corner, or if you turn the slideshow off, you can click on the pictures. Okay, I got it confused here. My arrow went away. You can click on the pictures and it will change. For some reason there's the little arrow, there the arrow is, it's off on the side of the screen. So I can back it up, or if I could get to the arrow on the right hand side there, I could scroll through them. So you can control the pictures, see the pictures on there. Down below we have a place to make notes. Notes, there are multiple places to put notes in this system. This is going to be right here at the top for the general notes that you want to put in. Only you can see your notes. No one else can see your notes. I took the liberty before class of adding some pictures and notes here below. And notice I put, you can add notes from your computer, you can add notes from your phone or tablet, and it changes the little icon there telling you where it was added from and when. So this one was done on the computer, but this one was done from my phone. You can also upload photos. So I just took a picture of a ceiling fan and uploaded that photo, and that will remind me when I come to this property, hey, that owner needs to fix that ceiling fan. There's some reason I uploaded that picture, and it's just to remind me that they need to fix that ceiling fan. In all of this, you can decide whether you want to include it in your reports that you can generate with the system that we're going to go over here a little bit later. Also, another neat feature is you can record memos. So when you're on your phone, if you want to record a quick message to yourself, you can do that and you can play it back from here. So you're in the house, you're walking around, you see something you need to tell your assistant that needs to be done before the listing, or to remind yourself, hey, the owner needs to take care of this. Just do that, record a memo, remind yourself, and then you can play it back from here. Then down below that is going to be lots of data about the home. Who's the homeowner? What are the home facts? And notice it shows you the public records versus the listing information. So if the listing has something that disagrees, you're going to see that on the right compared to the public records. So right here, the listing's saying this is a 4-bath, but the public record says that there's 2 on there. So if you scroll on down, you'll see all of that information. Again, you have a place to make notes there if you want to put notes. I verified the number of bathrooms in this home, or I verified this to confirm that change is correct in MLS. Down below that, you've got the median estimated home value. Notice you can turn things off here. It shows what's going on in the state of Texas, what's going on in the county that this property is in, what's going on in the zip code, and for this house. If this is too busy for you, turn off some of the lines there and it will show you, okay, in this zip code, home values are up, and for this house, home values are up for the median estimated home value. Down below, it's going to show you price change history. Again, this is coming from MLS here, and down below that is the listing details. So there's your MLS number right there, and what's the source of that MLS, or the MLS that provided that information to the system. And again, the interior features, interior details, exterior features, all of that data coming over from the MLS system. Then you have another place to make notes, and one great tool that's in this system is the school ratings. When you get down to the schools, you'll see the schools names are in blue. Those are links, and on the links you can click, and it's going to show you information from a website called Great Schools and the rating for that school right there. So if you've got a married couple with children and they're very concerned about how good are the schools here, up in the Frisco area, the schools are great. So they're going to see 9s and 10s, or 8s, 9s and 10s up in that area. So you don't have to go somewhere else to get that information for them. It's right here on the property detail report, and you can get it for the elementary school, the junior high, and the high school. If we click on the high school here, it will show the rating for that high school and where that school is with the map to the right. If you scroll down, you can see test scores and other information about that school. Okay, so if we scroll on down again, we'll get to mortgage records, legal description, and the tax information. If we scroll back to the top of the property detail report, to the right is a map. And on the map, well, mouse is messing up here for me. If I want to make that map larger, I can click on bigger map, and it's going to fill the screen here for me, and I can see the properties that are around it. The legend again is anything that's green is an active property. If it's yellow, it's my subject property here. I can change how the map looks in the top right hand corner by using these tools. If I go to the gray, that just removes the street names. If I go to road, it puts the street names on the map, and then aerial is a satellite shot, and then overhead is the bird's eye view, as we call it in some of the other map systems, where it comes in at an angle. Also, you can control the map in the top left hand corner with the plus and the minus to zoom in and zoom out on the property. And then this is kind of a neat tool. You can spin the property around. So right now we're looking at the back side of the property. If we want to spin it 90 degrees, it will adjust the map and show us the home from different angles using the clockwise and counterclockwise views there. We scroll on down. Again, we've got all of the property information that we went over before. It's just been pushed down so that the map is larger. And in the map here are some heat maps. The heat maps show you different topics in the area. So if you want to see estimated home values, a 12-month change estimate, average sales price, average listing price in the area, you can click on that heat map and it will show you what's going on in that area. So here we have the average sales price, and down below it's going to show you a legend right here as to what the different colors mean. So when we go from light blue all the way up to darker blue, you'll see the areas that's in. Kind of good information to know. I don't know that it adds that much value to me, but realize those are here, and look at that in an area when you're going to be listing a home and see if it tells a story that you need to communicate to your seller. So to make my map back smaller again, I can go to the corner of the map, click on smaller map, and it will move that back down for me. So that is the summary page of the system. Again, here's the listing agent on the right-hand side. Here's the times that it's been through MLS, so you can tell by the MLS numbers it's been on the market several times over the years. And then below that is some neighborhood information. So tons of information here. As I said, it can kind of be overwhelming the first time you come in and look at all of this. Like, how am I ever going to explain all this to my seller? But it's there for you to use to tell the story that you need to for the listing. Okay? So the map tool is there in the top right-hand corner, and to the left of the map, we can refine things. If we know this number is wrong on the RVM, we can refine the RVM by hitting the Refine button right here in the center. When you click on that, it's going to allow you to apply your knowledge of this area. So here at the top, if you know things aren't correct on this, like we know it doesn't have 2 bathrooms, it has 4, and we may want to make other changes here. Once we make those changes and we hit Apply Changes, notice how much more that added in value. The tax records really hurt this property by only having 2 bathrooms instead of the 4 bathrooms that it had. If we scroll down, we can also refine the RVM for home improvements that the seller has done. So if you click on this Add a Home Improvement, it will show you a list of home improvements. This connects to a database that by zip code all over the country, they do averages of what these values are worth in any particular zip code in the country. So RPR didn't just come up with this data. This links to a website that's their job, is coming up with this. So maybe they did a let's see where the kitchen is, a major kitchen remodel, and they did it back in June of 2010, and they spent $30,000 on the kitchen. You type that in, you hit Add, and it shows you a major kitchen remodel done back then. They may have spent the $30,000. It's only gaining them about $16,000 in their price. Now when we scroll back up, we'll see it changed the RVM by that amount. Okay, I'm just using examples here. Don't believe these numbers. They're just showing you that you can impact the value of the home by changing things here. Then down below are the touchy-feely things, the things that you really can't add a value to, like the local market conditions or the home exterior condition, the home interior condition. Notice they're set for average all the way down through here. They're right in the center. So if the home you're getting ready to list is an average home for that neighborhood, you don't want to touch it. But if you know it's got a lake view and the majority of the homes in that neighborhood does not have a lake view, then you can pump up the amount for that lake view by moving it to the right. Or if you know, man, the exterior of this house really needs work, the siding's falling off of it, it needs a new roof and paint, then you can pull it down from an average home. That's going to affect your price up here in the top right hand corner based on the mouse is messing up on me here. Maybe it's my phone. Based on the way that you pull, way that you pull the scale left or right. So again, if it's an average home for the area, you've been in the other homes in the area and you know everything's the same, then leave the scales alone. So once you get the value to where you know it to be, then you have refined the RVM for this property. When you go back to the summary, you will see your revised RVM price there. If you do not want to use the RVM in this system, you want to do a CMA the way we have traditionally done, finding all of the comps in MLS and finding the MLS numbers, you can create your own comps by clicking on that Create a Comps. You verify the home facts on the system. Once you verify those, you'll confirm them, and then you can go in and find your comps in the system by looking through RPR with a mapping tool and searching, or you can add a known comp right here. So if I've got Matrix pulled up and I found 4 or 5 properties I want to use as comps, I'm going to copy the MLS number, paste it in here, hit add. It's going to add it to my comps over here, and I can do my own CMA directly in the system rather than relying on the system to select its own. Okay, I can't get back. Minus. There we go. It's falling underneath there. Okay, so I could create my own comps there if I wanted to. So that is revising the RVM in RPR to where you can create the reports. To create reports, if we go back to the summary page here, you can click on Create Reports in the top right-hand corner. When you click on that, it's going to show you the different reports that you can create in the system. If you want to see the details about the reports, you can click on More Details and it will show you the pages that it's going to create. These are monster reports. They're the best reports I've ever seen. They can be a little bit overwhelming again, but if it gets in too much detail and you know you do not want to show those pages in the report, you just remove the check mark from the pages you do not want to do. To do a CMA in the system, you want to select the seller report. You're doing a report for a seller that's going to provide them information about their home, the area, what the market's doing. That's going to be the closest thing to a CMA. If you do a valuation workbook, that's more of an appraiser report. It is very, very detailed on there. So you select the report that you want to do, and based on the revisions that you've done, it's going to be impacting this report and showing that information. So once you select it, you go down below, you can put the information for the contact in the box down here. This would be your seller's information and any notes you want. And then you can choose to display it as a PDF file now, or you can email it directly to someone by clicking there and adding the email address of who you want to send it to. Once you select that, then you'll go to the top, to the bottom and hit Run Report. When you hit Run Report, it's going to pop up and tell you, I'm going to generate that report for you. And when it generates the report, if you have the sound on your computer, it's going to give you a doorbell sound. If you have a dog in the house, it's going to drive him crazy. He's going to run to the front door because it's literally a ding-dong sound that it makes. Notice over here on the left, it shows the report and that it's being processed. Also up here at the reports in the top, if you roll over that one, it will show you that report's being processed. So before class, I went ahead and opened up a report here so we wouldn't have to wait for it to generate. And this is actually on another property. But as you scroll down, you're going to see a nice, well-formatted report here for you. You can see the data. It's got plenty of maps, plenty of data for your engineers and your airline pilots and all of that like the data. They're going to have plenty to view here. It's all about the pictures also, and then it gives you the history reports. So this report is kind of lengthy, but it gives your clients plenty of information to look at. Okay, sorry, I know it's kind of jerky on the screen with it scrolling down, but I just wanted to show you that it has pictures, it has bar graphs, it has line graphs with the data on here. So now if we go back to our RPR system here, those reports are also going to be on your home screen. When you go back to the home screen, it has your recent activity down here at the bottom. So here are the properties I've been looking at. These are the searches I've done, and these are the reports that I've done here. So the last report that I ordered was this one. It's still waiting for this one to generate here at the top, but it will show up down here also. So if I need to get back to that report at a later time, I come here and click on it, and it will open up and download that PDF file to my computer. Those stay there for 30 days. If you scroll down, the last one that you'll see here is back at the end of October. So they do roll off. They do not stay there forever. But when you pull it up, if you want to save it in the window, when you're viewing it, you just save it directly from there, put it on your computer or wherever you want it to be. Okay? So that's working with the seller. We go to the property, we take notes about it, we do a report, we get ready to show them that property. How would you use RPR with a buyer? A buyer, you can go in here and find for sale properties again. And let's say I've got a buyer that's going to be looking in the Frisco area. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a search for Frisco, and notice below where I'm doing the search, it is populating what it thinks it might be. So there's Frisco, Texas. If I click on Frisco, Texas, it fills it in the way that it wants to see it. And then I have these fields that I can search with here. So I've got a minimum and a maximum, bedrooms and baths. If I want more things to search on, I can hit the advanced tab here, and it will show me other things that I can search on. So maybe I don't want to show them pending properties, and I don't want to show them any distressed properties here, so I would do non-distressed and get rid of the short sales and the foreclosures, all of that. Then I'm going to hit my search, and it's going to run that search for me. When it runs the search, it's going to come up and show you the boundaries of the area that you're looking at, and it shows you the homes or the listings that it found with the little blue houses. If you scroll down, you'll see the property that's there that you like. And notice some of them have little gold stars on them. That means I've saved these as favorites already. And I'm going to show you a trick that you can do with your mobile phone here in a little bit that will help you when you're in the field. On all the properties in Frisco, maybe they prefer this northwest corner up here, and I just want to see these properties. I can draw a search on the map by using the search tools at the top. I've got a box, I've got a radius, a polygon, drive time, and distance here. So let's just choose the radius, and let's say they would want to see some of these homes in this cluster up here. So once I click on the radius, I come in and I left click my mouse and I pull out, it's going to draw a search circle there. When I release it, I can tell it search in this area, and it's only going to show me the homes that are in that area there. Then when I scroll down, I can see the listings that are for sale in that search area. And if I want to show them some, I can put a little gold star, meaning saving it as a favorite. I'm adding it as a favorite there. So I would go through and find the homes that I want to show this client this afternoon or tomorrow and put a check mark there so that when I go and I'm out in the field with my client, let me switch over here back to my PowerPoint presentation, get to the right one here. Then when I'm out in the field with my client, I pull up the mobile RPR app on my phone. It starts looking around me, and we're in the Brook Hollow area here in the main office at Metrotech, so that's the reason that came up. When I click on the little star at the bottom, the bottom here, there's a little saved. So if I click on that, it's going to bring up the homes that I saved as a favorite. So it gives me instant access while I'm in the field to the properties that I'm going to show my client. And if I need additional details about that property, I click on it. It shows me the pictures, shows me the details here. And if I scroll on down, it shows me the listing agent. If I need to call that listing agent, I just punch on this button. It will call the listing agent and I say, hey, I've got someone interested. You got anything working on this property? If we go on down, it's going to show that I can make notes. I can call the agent. I can run reports. So this is where I was going in and hitting the notes and writing notes and recording memos and everything on this property. And then I can also go to the reports section on my phone. And while I'm there in the property, I can run a report and email it directly to my client. Maybe the wife is asking, well, what schools does this school go to and how good are they? I can run that school report directly on my phone and boom, it's going to show me the schools and I can show them the ratings, the details about the schools, all of that information right there on my phone. Okay? I think that's a great feature. Would help you a lot while you're in the field working with your clients to provide them the information or answer the questions that they're asking you on site. Okay, so that's how you would, one thing you would use it to interact with for a buyer is using it to do your search, your showings, your information, and all of that. So if we go back to the home page again, notice we're in the blue screen. This is the residential side of RPR. RPR also has a commercial side. If we click on commercial right here in the top to the right of your welcome and your name, that's going to take you to a red screen. So you never have any doubt what part of RPR you're in. If you're blue, you're residential. If you're red, you're commercial. Tons of information here. You can search for properties. You can do in-depth analysis, and you can do the mapping features here. And again, across the bottom, it works the same way. It has the recent searches that you've done, the recent properties, and the recent reports that you've run. So if we go to the search, it's going to look very similar to the residential side that has moved things around a little bit. So they did radio buttons to where you can select what you're searching for. Again, if you do all properties, that's everything. Off-market properties, on-market properties. If you just want to see for sale listings, you would click on the radio button for that, or just see listings that are for lease in the commercial market, and so on. So if we do only for sale listings, and then we type in an area and we select what type of property we're looking for a client. So let's say we want to see everything in Tarrant County. We just start typing. It makes its best guess here. We click on Tarrant County and search. And it's going to bring up the listings that it finds in the Tarrant County commercial database. And again, it looks very similar to the residential side. It's going to show you the listings here in the middle, and you can scroll through, find what you're looking for there. Or if you need to revise your search, over here on the left, you're applying what they call filters to find things. So if you just wanted to find a retail property for a client, you could uncheck everything except the retail and apply that filter, and it's going to show you only retail business listings that it finds. Again, you can highlight them with the stars, and again, if you click on a particular property, it's going to take you to the property detail page of that property. Notice it's not doing an RVM here, it's just showing the list price. I don't know the reason that they didn't put it in, but I would think that commercial properties are so unique, they're not as confident on doing that calculation on commercial properties as they are on residential, because on residential, everything in the same neighborhood usually is close to being the same, with commercial properties, they're also unique. It would be hard for them to do that calculation. So now if we go back to home, you can also run reports in this system. It's going to show you different analysis that you can do. So let's say you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce in your city, and you've got somebody that's thinking about opening a particular kind of business, but they don't know where to market to. What houses, what market is my business going to work in? You can run this best businesses report here. I've already run it earlier. When you click on that, it will open up, and I just did the city of Flower Mound that I live in, and it shows the outline there. And if you scroll down, it's going to tell you what is a good idea for a business and maybe what's not such a good idea for a business. So the blue is over here is telling you one thing, and the yellow is telling you another. So if they're looking for specialty foods or full service restaurants, you can see that there's not enough in that area, and that would be a good business to do. Just like automobile dealers, there's not enough in Flower Mound, probably too many in other areas, but you can see, is that a good business for this, a good fit for this area? Down below are going to be the things that they have too many of. Healthcare and personal care stores. We got plenty of those up there. We got plenty of grocery stores in the Flower Mound area. So it's just telling you a story. It gives you a report that you could share with someone in the Chamber of Commerce that, yeah, that looks like it'd be a good business in that area. They've got a need there. Tons of tools like that you can use here to do those type of analysis. You could look for demographics, age groups, where they spend their money. You won't believe it, but there's one that you can actually run that is, where do most people that drink alcohol live in here? So it actually shows the neighborhoods by breaking that out. So that's just a touch on the commercial side of it. There's tons more here. The reports section works exactly the way it does in the residential. You can generate the reports, and it again will tell you when those are done. So let's switch back to the residential side. And Gail, how about any questions? Do we have any questions today? Number one, please review the pre-foreclosure features during the webinar. So the pre-foreclosure features are down here. If you're wanting to find properties that are in that stage, you would turn off the non-distressed and just turn on the pre-foreclosure area, and then you would search for those properties in the area that you're interested in. So I'm going to hit clear right here, and then I'm going to turn off everything except the pre-foreclosures, and I'm going to look for those in Dallas County, Texas, right here, and then I'm going to run my search. It's going to find the properties that have pre-foreclosures filed on the tax records. On the tax records, it has the foreclosure stages, and one of those is the pre-foreclosure. Apologize, it's taken a little while to run this report. Must be several for it to go through in the city or the county of Dallas, and it's going to show the properties down here in the search results area. Okay, so there are our properties. If we wanted to look at a particular property, we could click on that address, and it will bring up the property detail. And if we scroll down, we're going to see the distressed information down here at the bottom of the report. Where's that? Well, I have seen it on another property. They had a distressed box down here. You might know I picked one that doesn't have it. But it will be on the property detail report giving you details about that. Okay? How do you unload a property you want to sell? Okay, not sure about that question.
Okay, so basically, let's say that you want to sell a property. It's not in the MLS, but it should still be in the tax records.
Correct.
So keep in mind, you wouldn't necessarily have to upload it. it would already be there.
Correct. This is a property-centric database, and it does have all properties in the United States. So even if they haven't been through MLS, you can search for that address right here, and it will show you the property and all the details about it. It doesn't have to be for sale in the MLS. It will be here. Okay. The top one. If one add a comp, how does one remove the same comp? Okay, on that page where we did the comps, let's go back to the property that I was working on here. If you are revising the RVM right here, you can go to the view details. It will show you the comps that I used down here. But if you want to do your own comps, you would hit create your own comps, and then you confirm the facts, and then you find your comps. Any comps that it finds and puts in for you are going to be over here in the comps being used. If there were a list of properties here, you could uncheck one if you did not want to use it as a comp. So if you let the system find the comps for you, they will populate down in this panel, and then you can remove it and say, no, I do not want to use that as a comp. Okay? Finish the buyer basics. Not sure what the question is about finish the buyer basics. To use it for a buyer, you're going to search for properties here. I would probably do the for sale. You can also choose to show actives and pendings. Normally when I'm showing buyers, I would turn the pendings off because I just want to show them active properties here. So I'm not sure if that's answering your question or not, but the buyer basics would be searching, then choosing the properties that you want to show that buyer. So where would you use a keyword search such as is, investment properties, and things like that? You're going to be able to do that in Matrix very easily. I have not seen that working in RPR. Okay. Can anyone use RPR such as investors or outside clients? No, this system is just for realtors. It's going to provide you information that you would provide to your investors or your clients, but only realtors have access to it. Under recent properties viewed, how many will it keep? It only keeps for 30 days. On the home page, anything that it's saving there for you will archive off after 30 days. So you can notice I've been doing a lot of searching here, but it's just going back to the end of October there. So as it ages off over a month, then it's going to fall off there. If you refine the information on the RVM, does this save directly to that listing so other people see the changes I made? No. Your information in this system only shows up to you. If you make notes, if you add pictures, if you revise RVMs, that is only visible to you. No other realtor can see it. Okay? Any other questions? What is the most appropriate report to present to a buyer? If we go to reports, there's several here that you would do. The property report would probably be a good one to show them. And then you can also do a property flyer right there. Maybe they found a home that they like and they're thinking about it. You could create that property flyer and send it to them, and it would show them a flyer of the property with the details there. Okay? I see that the report is still being generated. What is the typical time for a report to generate? I've seen them take as long as 4 or 5 minutes, depending on how many comps that you put on it, how many pages they are. But once it generates, it will show up over here on the left-hand side. Or if you go back to the property itself, when you're in the property page here, you find this one. You can always, well, it doesn't show up on the property report. It's going to show up in the reports here at the top, and on the left-hand side of the reports it will show, and then on the home page, on the bottom right-hand corner, your recently run reports. Again, these will be here for 30 days. What app are you using? Sign in late, sorry. The app is the RPR app. If you go to your store and you search for RPR, you will find it coming up in the list. It's going to have a little blue icon. Not sure that I have it, but it's similar to that little icon right there. The blue icon, and then that will be white on the system. I'm not sure you can see it on that tab right there. That icon, it'll be a blue box with that little share icon there. Okay? Any others? Pre-foreclosure information as a prospecting tool. Those I have seen already have agents. Okay? If they're off market, so if we go back to home and you search for off-market properties, I apologize when I did it earlier, I probably did the for sale, but if you do all properties and then you tell it you want to see the distressed properties right here, it's going to show you the pre-foreclosures and that stuff. The ones I did before were for sale properties, you're correct, but then in doing the all properties, you'll see the ones that are not on market. You can also get that information in Real List by running a search in Real List for that information. Okay? Any other questions? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, WJ.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us today for the webinar. Please visit mymetrotex.com and review the upcoming classes. We hope to see you in one soon. From the staff at Metrotex, make it a great day.